Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be bringing you 10 Muslim countries with the highest Christian population in the world. Christianity is holding down the fort as the biggest game in the world, making up around 31% of the global population, which is like north of 2 billion folks. While there is a bit of a dip from 1900 to 2000, it looks like by 2050, the Christian religion will be up to about 34.4%, hitting the 3 billion mark. Without much emphasis, let's dive right into the video. Coming up at number 10 is Iraq. Iraq stands out as a predominantly Islamic country with a Muslim population of about 39,700,000 and a whopping Christian population of about 944,000. So in the realm of the Muslim countries with a big Christian crowd, Iraq surprisingly joins the list. About 97% of the population in Iraq has consistently been identified as Muslim. The Shia Muslims are the majority, making up around 55 to 60%, with Sunni Muslims about 40%. However, the Christian community in Iraq has been shrinking pretty dramatically over the years. Before 2003, there were less than 450,000 Christians left. A big chunk of them consisted of Chaldean Catholics, making up about 67%, while almost 20% are from the Assyrian Church of the East. The leader of the Chaldean Catholic Church in Iraq has been speaking up lately about how Christian peeps have been facing tough times since the US-led invasion in 2003. Their rights have been trampled on and they are getting pushed out of their jobs and having their stuff taken away. It's a pretty tough time for the Christian crew in Iraq, so it seems. Coming up at number 9 is Saudi Arabia. The number of Muslim population in Saudi Arabia is 31,500,000, whilst that of the Christian population is 1.5 million. Historically, in Saudi Arabia, a Muslim majority country with a decent Christian community, things get a bit complicated when it comes to religious freedom. Publicly practicing anything other than Islam is a major no-no, and the lines between state and religion are pretty thin. The government of Saudi Arabia is not exactly big on religious freedom on paper, but they kind of let Shia gatherings fly and ignore some non-Muslim private stuff. However, when it comes to switching from Islam to Christianity, that's like a serious red flag. It's a top-notch sin in Islamic book. If anyone is caught making that switch, such persons might get killed. However, times are changing and so is the Christian community situation in the kingdom. Saudi Arabia stands out as a Muslim country with the highest Christian population in the world currently. Coming up next on the list is Lebanon. Lebanon is a Muslim country with a Muslim population of about 3.6 million and a Christian population of 1.7 million. Lebanon, a Muslim majority country with a big Christian scene. Christians there are kind of feeling the heat, thanks to Hezbollah. These guys with ties to Iran are calling the shots, leading many Christians to pack up and hit the road. Over the years, the Christian community has taken heat from various attacks and now they are facing a whole new challenge. Their numbers are dwindling compared to the Islamic population. On top of all the drama, the economy of Lebanon is in rough shape, which has a lot of young Christians saying goodbye to Lebanon. It's like they are strangers in their own land. After a decade of Syrian civil war and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Lebanon has become the refugee hub of the world, hosting more refugees per capita and per square kilometer than any other place. And most of these newcomers are Muslims. The Syrian refugees have put a serious strain on Lebanon's already shaky economy, making Lebanese Christians pretty anxious about being overshadowed by the newcomers. At number 7 is Syria. Syria has a Muslim population of about 15 million and a Christian population of about 1.8 million, making up about 8% of the total population of 24 million. But here is the kicker. The Christian community there is shrinking fast because many have fled due to all the chaos and persecution. In places where Islamic militants are running wild, the leaders of ancient churches are prime targets for attacks and kidnapping. And most of the church buildings in Syria have either been destroyed or taken over for Islamic purposes. It's pretty rough for the Christians living in these zones as they can't really practice their faith freely, and many have been kicked out of their homes. To make matters worse, Christian women and girls are at high risk of being abducted, harassed and assaulted. It seems like a tough spot to be in. No doubt, Syria has one of the highest population of Christians in the world. Coming up at number 6 is Malaysia. Malaysia has a Muslim population of about 20.1 million and Christian population of about 2.820 million. So here's the scoop on Malaysia and its Christian scene. In a Muslim country, there are about 2.8 million Christians, making up over 9% of the 34.6 million total population. Now here's the thing, according to the Malaysian rule book, if you are an ethnic Malaysian, you are automatically considered a Muslim. So any Malaysian who switches over to Christianity is kind of breaking the rules and might get a hot water under Islamic laws. These converts face some serious heat from their families and the communities at large. Under Islamic law, women and girls get the short end of the stick with a lot of restrictions on stuff like marriage, divorce, and child guardianship. It can get pretty tricky for them. Coming up on our list at number 5 is Pakistan. Pakistan has a whopping Muslim population of about 240,800,000 and a Christian population of 3.3 million. Now let's talk about the Christian crew in Pakistan, which is the 5th on our top 10 Muslim countries with the highest Christian population in the world. Back in the days of the whole India-Pakistan split, a bunch of Hindus and Sikhs made a run for it to India, but the Christian folks mostly stuck around in the newly formed Pakistan. According to the 1998 census, Christians made up about 1.59% of Pakistan's population, but the actual count is a bit of a mystery. Estimate as of today hover just over 3 million Christians in the country. Fourth on our list is Burkina Faso, with a Muslim population of 13.5 million and a Christian population of 3.746 million. Back in the 9th centuries, Protestants and Catholics rode up into this Muslim-heavy place. The Catholics had a bit of more luck, maybe because they had some French backing. Nowadays, around 22% of the populations are Christians. It is also interesting to note that Burkina Faso made history by ordaining the first African bishop in the Catholic Church back in 1956. For a good while, Muslims and Christians in Burkina Faso were vibing together pretty well, with Christians even having a nice presence in government. But things took a dark turn when Islamic extremist groups started causing chaos in the Sahel region. Since 2015, Christians up in the northern part of Burkina Faso have faced some real nasty violence. However, Burkina Faso still stands out as one of the Muslim countries holding one of the highest number of Christians in the world. Coming up at number 3 is Kazakhstan, with a Muslim population of 13.2 million and a Christian population of 4.15 million. So the deal with religious freedom in this country has been rocky ever since this new law popped up in 2011, giving the government a tight grip on religion. For Christians, this has led to more snooping around, surprise raids on gatherings, and folks getting toast in the slammer. If you are outside the Russian Orthodox Church, life gets pretty tough. Even though the Russian Orthodox Church is kind of okay as long as they don't try to convert to Muslims, any other Christian groups under constant watch and can face crackdown. In some areas, Christian businesses are practically expected to slip some cash under the table to keep things running smoothly. However, Kazakhstan remains one of the countries with the highest number of Christians still living in it. Coming up at number 2 is Egypt, with a Muslim population of 90 million and a Christian population of 9,029,000. So Egypt has been keeping the Christian population size a bit of a mystery for nearly 4 decades now. The last official head count was way back in 1986, stating that Christians made up less than 6% of the country. But the Copts, who are the main Christian group in Egypt, were not having it. They felt the count was way off, and their push for a more accurate number actually led to the government to skip tallying Christians in the next 3 census. It's a big deal because regardless of the numbers, the Copts face some serious discrimination in Egypt. From government roles to school jobs, they are often left out or given the short end of the stick. So whether they are really 6%, 15% or anywhere in between, it's clear that the Copts don't have it easy when it comes to being treated as equal citizens in Egypt. However, Egypt stands out as one of the countries with a significant number of Christians. Coming up at number 1 is Indonesia, with a Muslim population of 236 million and a Christian population of 24 million. So in Indonesia, Christianity is kind of a big deal as the second largest religion, but it is still a minority in the country. Around 10% of Indonesians, which is like 24 million people, are Christians, whilst there are some religions in Indonesia where Christians are the main crew. Overall, they are still in the minority. This means that Christians don't have a ton of political or social power across the board, except in those specific Christian majority areas. Regardless of the circumstances, Indonesia remains one of the Islamic countries holding one of the highest population of Christians in the world. Guys, do well to drop your honest comment. Tell us what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you.